It's live?
It's live, yeah.
What up, yo? Good morning, good morning. I'm hanging out with my dude, AB the Hero.
What's up?
We getting it down in the Baller State, baby.
Hey.
So what I gotta say this morning is, holla at you, boy. Let's get it right, man. Me and AB finna hit the town and get this right, baby. Let's go. I'm out.
Straight up. Thank you, man.
We good, dog.
Appreciate you.
All right.
Oh, shoot. Hey, what's up now? It's your main man, AB the Hero. We are back again with a whole nother live stream, you know what I'm saying? And, you know what I'm saying? I'm with the folks. Brandon Williams, talking with Fresh.
What's going on?
Manny Alvarez here, the voice of the JBA. You
Good evening.
And, so, last week, man, we did these top, 4 rankings? Top 10 players, and things have shaken up since then. You know what I'm saying? A lot of our top 4, I'm sure all our top 4 is different at this point right now. You know what I'm saying? So we need to get back into that, you know what I'm saying, address it just a little bit. But also it's a whole lot of things that's happening in the universe right now that we had to discuss. You know what I'm saying? Mike Martin checking in from ATL. Yo, we here. We in the city. What's up, shawty? Turn up. You feel me? No, and so even before we get into that, we have to address the elephant in the room, L.A. Bron.
L.A. Bron?
You know what I'm saying?
Who's that?
L.A. Bron. That's the greatest Laker of all times. Already the greatest Laker of all time.
Without playing the game.
Without playing the game.
I thought Slava Megrenko was the best one.
I don't know who that is. How y'all feel about L.A. Bron?
I mean, I think it's a good. It's good that it finally happened. I mean, there's a lot of speculation for it seemed like forever that it was even going to happen. So I'm glad, for the league. I think it's a good thing for the league just because LA needs to be relevant. It's the biggest team in the NBA in terms of market presence, historical value. With LeBron being there with all those young pieces, it kind of just makes it a huge storyline as to if he can take this team and catapult them into a
contender
like that. So, and I actually think that it's very possible. I've been pretty high on Lonzo and how this young group with their potential. So bringing someone like a LeBron into the mix, only just adds more to it. So I think that you can really see some crazy stuff happening in the NBA, especially with the Lakers. And the crazy thing about it is it's not even been, what's today, the 2nd? Has it even been full 24 hours with free agency hitting?
It has not.
Barely, if it has.
It's been a
yeah, so who knows what else they got, in the works, where they got some trades that they might get. I think they need more shooters. Rajon Rondo, Lance Stevenson, those are all good, valuable pieces. Bringing back Kentavious Caldwell-Pope was a good move, I think, and especially with him being a 3-and-D guy.
Was it worth losing Randall, though? Julius Randle?
Is he? Oh, I did
He's
hear
in
he
New Orleans
said
now.
Well,
he already in New Orleans?
I think LeBron kind of makes up for all that because you still have 100%. Kyle Kuzma that can fill in off the bench. Brook Lopez is still there. Yes, Julius Randle is a huge piece, I think, but LeBron makes up for at least 4 players on any team. So I don't know. I think that it's people are kind of devaluing how good this Laker team really was, or probably could have been. I honestly believe that they could have been a playoff team last year. Had Lonzo.
Could we have been kind of a trust the process, kind of what Philly was doing, or was this something that was needed?
What with bringing LeBron in?
Yeah. Or is it like kind of the Philly?
I think that if LeBron did not come this year, that this Laker team would have been easily a playoff team this coming season. All things considered, if Lonzo stays healthy, B.I. stays healthy, I think that this would have easily been a playoff team. 5-6 seed easily, me personally. Just because I felt they were playing so well and finally started to get a chemistry together. Because at the beginning of the season, I just felt like there was too many things that just didn't feel right. Luke was trying to, I wrote about it, I talked about it. There wasn't a good mixture going on together. So I don't know. I just felt like the team has a lot of really good components. They just need some shooters, and they need to get them like ASAP.
I don't know. I feel like we're adding too much right now because I'm thinking, well, what about the young guys? We're gonna get them in. You know, we're adding Stevenson and McGee and Rondo and Pope.
Well,
I think to me, that's the gift and the curse of LeBron. Is you get LeBron, but you get all of his.
Like, let me join.
Yeah, you get. I would call the baggage that he bring with him. Same thing. Some of it's good, some of it's bad. He show up in Cleveland. You lose Andrew Wiggins. You get Damon Jones. Yeah, you get Kevin Love. You know what I'm saying? But he also got to bring Juwan Howard. Got to be somewhere on the bench. You know what I'm saying? He bring a lot of dead bodies with him. And so I feel like that's the thing with the Lakers is who gonna have to leave to make space for the dead bodies that LeBron bringing in.
Well, I think just looking at some of the additions that the Lakers have made, it seems like they're trying to do what Cleveland didn't do, which I kind of implored them to do. It's like you have no Rough Riders on your team at all. Like there was no goons on the squad, and I think that was the issue that they were running into with
Put your Twitter
trying to go up against this Warriors team, because when they beat the Warriors in 2016, yeah, your stream is
we still out here, man. We in Atlanta.
Kmart.
You know how Atlanta be acting up with that Kmart connection.
Hold on now. Hold on.
Nah,
I ain't gonna let you get away with it in my city.
they don't got that fiber optics down here yet.
What I was gonna say is that you bring in someone like Lance Stevenson.
There you go.
He's got those goonish tendencies. Rajon Rondo has those goonish tendencies where they're not going to back down. They're going to bring that rough and rugged. And he didn't have that with Cleveland. He had that with Matthew Dellavedova, Iman Shumpert. Players like that in Cleveland, and that assisted. That energy helped bring those titles. Also, Richard Jefferson and Damon, what's his name? Dante Jones.
Yeah.
All those guys collectively helped and assisted. Even though they didn't play major minutes, they also assisted just from a mentality standpoint. He had zero of that on his team with the Cavs. So they're trying to bring, even if I don't think Lance Stevenson's going to play 15 minutes maybe a game.
I think
Rondo, same thing, 15, maybe 20 minutes.
Somebody tried to tell me that they was thinking about starting Rondo over Lonzo.
Not going to happen.
I feel like you might as well
It's not going to happen.
chop your foot off if you're going to do that.
Yeah, that ain't going to happen.
I think that
Who
LeBron
said
bringing these, that was the tweets that was coming in out.
Nah, that ain't happening.
All right, though, but enough of L.A. Bron
Yeah.
and the Lakers. I feel like they're going to win something. He at least going to be they going to the playoffs this year. That's a fact.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
All right. Sorry again, man, about this. Players that give UK a challenge. Top 5 JBA players that give University of Kentucky a challenge. Hey. Only because you dropped off $1.99, and that's my brother, I'm going to answer this question for you real fast. A team right now with Melo, Jarrell Springer, Curtis Hollis, big Scott Moore, Nate Morris, and Big Jelly.
So you take Nate Morris over Greg Floyd?
I'm saying Nate Morris is the center. Greg Floyd Greg Floyd, I pull out Big Jelly and I put Greg Floyd there. Playing the 4. That's the number 5. That's for you right there. The connection out here, hot garbage, man. But all right, but back to this. Let's jump here in this JBA real quick. Top, because you put out I seen on your tweets, you put out the standings, official standings.
And update it every time, so you'll see it Wednesday morning, hopefully, if I have any energy. If we get to the airport early, maybe I might chill and update that. I am noticing that people are watching this. I know that for sure. Edward Denard, the coach in Chicago, was like, hey, you got to rank us a little higher. There's people like wanting to rank this and that, so at least you're watching. But we did notice some people deserve to be on there and some changes. But I guess I go first, or should we have Brandon figure it out?
No, yeah, go ahead. You jumping up, Brandon. You ready?
What is it?
Give us your top 4 squads.
Top 4 squads. Atlanta. I've been saying it for seems like forever. Atlanta. I just feel like the way their depth, how much depth they have is just ridiculous in terms of just having an 8-man team with at least six bodies, if not really 7 actually, 7 that they can really put out there and not really miss a beat. That's kind of hard to come by in this league, and they've been able to do that from offensive standpoint, defensively. They're just really well put together. They can shoot the lights out the ball. They can defend on the ball very well. They play pretty good help defense as well. They're just a really good overall team. Let's see. So Atlanta number 1. Let's go with.
I really feel like that's pretty damn accurate.
Let's go Atlanta number 1. I'm still struggling with Seattle.
2 spot.
Yeah.
But I think this can kind of work. These are Manny's.
That's
M Alvarez 02 on Twitter. Check out the standings right there.
These are the standings that Manny put together. I'll say Atlanta number 1. I'll go LA number 2.
Really? After they had a pretty bad
only
one.
because I felt like that was more of an aberration. I don't really feel like that was. I think all credit goes to New York, but I don't think LA. I think LA could have played a lot better. Melo was very frustrated during halftime. When I did the interview with him, he was very clear that he felt as though his team could have been playing a little bit better. But we'll say Atlanta number 1, LA number 2, Chicago number 3, Houston number 4. And I think that's a pretty good depiction of how I feel. I mean, Chicago, only reason why I have them number 3. Philly hasn't won a game yet. All right, so that's not to knock them, because I actually think Philadelphia is a lot better than what their record is showing.
I think they have a hard time finishing the job.
Yeah, they're still trying to figure out how to actually win a ball game right now, how to close. So I don't know. We'll see. It's definitely very interesting. It's good to have a lot of parity in the league.
100%.
I think some people may have felt that LA's team would have probably ran through everyone, and maybe Atlanta was probably going to be Atlanta type situation. But now you're looking at teams like Seattle, and guys like a Jarrell Springer, Jamichael Morgan are starting to pop up on people's radars. Houston, Curtis Hollis, Jordan Myers, New York, Calvin Brown. It's just Philadelphia. Devin Hay, Jalen Nixon, Marquise, the Catalyst Johnson. There's just a lot of players on every team. You're starting to notice that you can't just. New York.
The new kid in New York.
Yeah.
Oh,
Nolan
Irby.
So you can't really just pinpoint one team and say, oh, this team is the favorite, and that's it. So you kind of have to respect every team and know that you can be beaten on any given night. So
yeah.
Me, I'm gonna go backwards. I'm number 4. Or are we going? You still stay in the top 4?
Top 4, yeah.
I go top Atlanta, number 1.
Either way, yeah.
We noticed they struggle a little bit, but I think because we're just like trying to dissect them. But they always get the job done. I mean, it seems like they always kind of start slow and then they can start picking it up. Same with Big Jelly. He always kind of starts picking it up as well. But I mean, there's so many weapons there. Nigel Chaney, Fionn Brown, Axel Butler knows how to throw it. I think other people. Ooh, some got great.
I caught my arm in between.
But that team's stacked and loaded. 2, Coach Denaro, this is for you. Chicago. Chicago's starting to improve a lot. Kizo, he's not a one-man team now. He's got Deion Lyle. He's got Watson and Dixon and Rieger can hit it. They're coming around there too. I got to put them at number 2. 3, I got to go with LA. And I know that New York was probably inspired because it was our home court. And yeah, maybe the new guy didn't know much about him, Nolan Irby. But I still felt like a little disappointed on the way they played. It really does show. I think everybody knows what kind of style of play they have. Now they're ready for it. Perhaps
like LA or
LA.
Okay, gotcha.
And now, I mean, we know they have their big 3.
We'll also note that Greg Floyd was hurt too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's tough. And I think Ezekiel Crawford didn't play. And that's kind of big. You got to realize these other players aren't just other players. So he was missed. Floyd wasn't that well. And we keep forgetting Tyler Kirkham's actually a pretty good, darn good player. But he gets overlooked because he has these big three of Niles Malone, LaMelo Ball, Greg Floyd. He's a fantastic player. So they're at 3-4 now, and hopefully, with Crawford and Floyd back, they can move up again. But 4, I got Houston. That's Seattle, New York around the outside. But Houston, it's like they put on a show, and I love it. They're the most flashiest team out there. With Lovelace throwing it up, you got Hollis and Myers and Handy, and such a fantastic team. And I got them at 4.
All right. I'm going to shake it up because, as y'all know, last time we did this, I had Atlanta number 1. So I was the only person who had them at number 1. So that speaks to my ability to judge talent.
We've been talking about Atlanta since day 1.
No, but you just have them number 1. I had them number 1. I said that they were probably going to run the table and go undefeated up to this point. I said at least going to be 3.
You had LA number 1.
All right. So also Chicago is a team that I extra believed in that y'all late to the party on.
Stop.
I've been talking to my coach Eddie Denard and his ability to inspire these young ballers
y'all know
to do
this
their thing. So I just really want to go there with y'all.
All right, I'll let you have it, man. Go ahead.
All right. So then also, so I'm gonna go right now. Atlanta, number 1. You know what I'm saying? Undefeated team. You gotta give them credit for doing what they're doing. They beat some solid squads. Like you said, Philadelphia. Atlanta beat Philadelphia, right?
Yeah, a close one.
Philadelphia was they haven't won a game yet, but they look good at times.
I think they've won all 3
Who
quarters.
was the first team they almost
beat?
It was Atlanta.
It was
the
Atlanta.
Chicago.
Chicago,
so you got to give them credit. They're putting Chicago and Atlanta.
So their first 2 games is basically the 2 best teams. In order to become the best team in the league, you had to beat Philly. So I have to. They're not last place for me. So Philly, you're not in last place, but you're not in the top 4 because you got to win the game first. All right. So I got Atlanta. Now it get kind of crazy for me because I respect what Chicago doing. And they play some great basketball. Young Keezo Brown is a dynamo. You know what I'm saying? I think that out of all of the teams in the top whatever, Atlanta to me, Chicago is the one team that has one cog that if it's not working, they don't have a. If Keezo ain't hot, then I feel like that. I'm sorry, Chicago. If Keezo not hot, then I don't know what Chicago got else for you. You know what I'm saying?
Well, I don't know because Keezo came up big in the 4th quarter, but Deion Lyle and some of the other guys did help keep them stable.
He was really
he just kind of put them over the top.
But so that last
he was pretty
game,
much off most of the game.
But no. You gotta remember in that last game, Keezo came out part of that 3rd, and then half of the 4th, and he came in to close it.
I know, but you said that if he not.
So that's what I'm saying. If he's not hot to close that, then you know what I'm saying. I don't know what they got going.
Well, what I'm saying is it's not Keezo or bust for them.
I'm saying before that game started too. At the beginning of that game, he was hot. He was cooking. And then you say, all right, so we learned from our mistake in the Houston in the game in Chicago where they played him all the way through, and he really couldn't he couldn't close it that game because he was too tired. Then they come into overtime and he lighted up and closed it then. So I feel like they got a thing going. So that's the only thing that makes me jockey them and from 2 to 3 is because when I look at this Los Angeles team, I say Melo gonna give you 40, Niles gonna give you 40, Greg gonna give you 30. If LaMelo is off, Taylor Kirkland gonna give you know what I'm saying, there's somebody else there. I can't go down the line with that Chicago team and say 30, 30, 30, 30 like I can. Houston, I can say Hollis gonna give you 30, Jordan Meyer gonna make you something, you know what I'm saying? Calvin Williams going to facilitate something. Nick Lovelace might dunk on 72 people in one game. Shannon Handy going to dunk on 30. You know what I'm saying? So that's the only thing I'm waiting from that Chicago squad is they got dogs and I know they're going to fight. But who going to be solidified. I'm gonna hold it down if Kizo can go. You know what I'm saying? That's the only thing. But on the counter to just an amazing ball, and I ain't gonna count against a dude who cooking right now. I'm gonna go ahead and put Chicago at second. I say I like to say Chicago number 2 right now. Just out of respect, because the dude been going to work. Kizo been out here going to work. Now, I'm going to go Houston at number 3, and I'm going to go at Los Angeles at number 4. Just because I feel like the blueprint is out on this Los Angeles team. New York just wrote the book on this is how we beat them.
Well, I think with any team that plays up tempo or presses, I mean, the blueprint is there. It's just a matter of executing it. I think a lot of people know, we'll have to get back on made shots or missed shot, whatever the case may be, or you have to move the ball through the press, but that's easier said than done. I just think that New York, with their chemistry and the way that they've come together, playing much better, they just executed it very well.
Yeah.
And, you know, Calvin Brown had an unreal night. Nolan Irby on his first night had an unreal night. And that LA just played terribly as well. So it was a mixture of a lot of different things. So I think the blueprint has always been there. But if they execute their style of play very well, they're going to be very hard to beat, especially when you have guys like LaMelo who can score, Niles who can score, Greg Floyd who can score. They're not necessarily worried about how many points you can score. They just believe that you're not going to be able to catch them, no matter how hard you try. So
I will give credit to the Nolan Irby dude. I feel like their ability to win that game had a lot to do with his basketball IQ.
Yeah.
And he was able to break that down like many other point guards probably wouldn't have been able to do. You know what I'm saying? Like you always talk about, is playing against that LA team, the key is not to get caught up in what they're doing, but to do your own thing. And I feel like he did a good job of like not getting caught up in that and trying to press it too much to get a bucket. And he stayed in his bag, got buckets when he was supposed to, and facilitate when he was supposed to. So I don't know, man. It's tough. So I'm gonna really do this. Here go my top 4. Number 1, Atlanta. 2, 3, and 4, a tie between Chicago, Houston, and Los Angeles. A 3-way tie for second place.
And no ties in basketball, I know if you knew that.
Huh?
No ties in basketball.
Yeah, it is. It is, because they all got the same record. But I need to see more from all of them.
I'm gonna have to say this, guys. As much as I would love to stick around with y'all, I have to head. I gotta head out of here.
Hey, salute! Can you say peace? Can you give a shout out to everybody here?
Can you give a quick top 10?
Top 10?
Just without
give me top
mentioning
5.
everyone.
Top 10 players? Oh man,
Just give me top 5, real quick.
top 5 players. No order.
All right, you still got your old list?
Here's a list of players.
Somewhere.
It ain't on your phone?
Alright, let's go. Jarrell Springer, Niles Malone, Melo, Curtis Hollis, and I don't know, that's a good one. Nigel Chamber. And that's on very limited sleep. I need to be in the bed right now.
Well, you on like 6 days rest.
Get ready for the game
6
tomorrow.
days rest. Yeah, I gotta get ready for the game.
Gotta get ready.
Unlike some people.
We gotta do that too. All right, though.
Nah,
just,
I'm not. Y'all don't gotta stop.
We're not finna stop.
Okay,
I'm
I was about to
just
say
exiting you out.
Yeah.
All right, y'all. So
Hit me up
Brandon is leaving.
on Twitter at Talking with Fresh. Instagram, same thing as well. Appreciate the love. Definitely make sure you tune into the Facebook
I might have to get
live stream tomorrow. Yeah, you need something.
Get your merch.
Get your merch.
Get your merch.
Get your merch.
B. Jones.
Tune into the live stream tomorrow. Please make sure y'all join us in the commentary section. Let us know who you are as well. Those of y'all who actually
We actually read that stuff too.
Yeah.
we do that tune into stuff like this, like the live stream here. Let us know, hey, it's me, yada yada yada. We've had some of y'all we've seen at the actual games that showed us some love. That was great. Definitely appreciate that. But yeah,
We look so
that's all
tired.
I got. I am
on that
tired.
screen.
So, all right, y'all. I love to stick around, but I gotta get out of here.
See you in 10 hours.
JBA, man.
Yeah, yeah. Tune in tomorrow. All right, gentlemen.
All right, yo, man.
Enjoy.
Enjoy yourself, man. Handle your
All
business, man. Hey, do your thing now. Put it down for the both of us.
All right.
Sports talk
it's
in the
live.
building.
Hey, y'all. Hey,
Yes, sir. They know you.
once again, man, I apologize. The internet is a little lagging, man. We out here in Atlanta, and you know they don't have the correct fiber optics.
Alright.
But man, replacing young Brandon Williams, we got a special guest in here, man.
Tight jeans over the.
Young Sports Inside Angle. He came through with the skinny pants on.
Nah, they ain't skinny like that, man. Come on.
Yeah.
I'm in here with AB the hero, man.
Hey, we out here,
You
man.
already know. We out here.
Hey.
And we got the voice of the JBA. Let's get it.
We out here.
What's good, man?
Man, we chilling, man.
Y'all in my city, man.
We out. I know the screen tripping, man.
Got
His
some good
city,
museums down here.
city with the internet, man.
Oh, man.
Nah. We talking this JBA basketball, man. Have
No doubt.
you hip on? You been watching some
Oh,
of the
man.
games?
I'm all hip to it, man.
All right. Who can you give us your favorite team at the moment?
You know, you in my city, so I got to go with the Atlanta Ballers, man.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Jelly style, you know what I mean? Like, it's the home team, man. They look better than the Atlanta Hawks, actually. They actually look better than these Hawks, man.
You heard it here first.
I'm telling you,
I'll give you
man.
that.
I mean, if you from Atlanta, you know what's up. The Hawks, man, we got about 10 years of just dead in the water, man.
Struggle.
But the JBA is, definitely breaking sports history, man. I'm impressed with what's going on. It's beautiful, man. It's beautiful to see these young guys really putting in the work and actually having the talent, man.
Yeah.
It's surprising to see guys that's not actually on that NCAA stage that's able to come in and really show, like, man, we can play too.
Yeah,
Like,
exactly.
we can really play.
I think it speaks to that thing, you know what I'm saying, that old parable that everybody used to say. It's a dude upstate somewhere who better than Jordan. You can hit that.
On the playground, hold on.
It's on the playground. He never got discovered.
Right.
And I feel like we starting to see that where a lot of these JBA dudes are saying like, yo, just because I'm not at the Duke or I'm not at the Kentucky don't mean I
Right.
can't hoop. You feel me?
All right. No, that's real talk.
Yeah.
That's
And
real talk.
that's the big thing I appreciate about the whole movement.
Yes,
Is
sir.
these dudes who I actually was on the plane ride over here today. I was listening to all of the videos from all of the sports commentators when JBA first got announced.
Right.
And everybody's saying like, it ain't gonna happen, it ain't gonna work, how they gonna get this and this. And I was trying to hear all of they like gripes and compare that to like how everything's been turning out.
Right.
And one of the big things that folks kept saying is, why would you go play in the JBA if you can, instead of going to play at Duke, Kentucky,
Right.
such and such, such and such. And then they kept talking about 3 schools, 4 schools. Like, why would you play the JBA if you got an opportunity to play at Kansas or Duke or North Carolina,
Right.
such and such,
Kentucky.
Right.
Kentucky? And
It's
I'm
'cause
thinking,
you're a professional.
Nova. Yeah.
and I'm thinking though, but those schools got a spot for how many players every year?
Just a few.
15 maybe?
15. We got 64 dudes out here
Wow, that's
Who?
a large opportunity.
who hooping. You know what I'm saying? Great opportunity.
And it's not like we're getting like top notch players. We're getting players who were at one point there and then just something happened, whether it be, like we're all not perfect, people break a law or something, they're trying to get back on their feet, or they
Right.
got a kid, they just don't have the financial situation going, or
Right.
just something happens. And now they get this opportunity. Now they know this is my last chance, and they're making the most of it. We're noticing they're going all out.
Right.
And so, I mean, that,
The crazy thing though is that obviously we do got some kids who fall into that category,
Right.
but we do got a bunch of kids who this ain't even their last chance. This is just
This is their first opportunity.
this their first opportunity, and this is a lot of them turned down the traditional way to come do this.
Right.
A lot of them left school to come do this. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
At major junior colleges, at Division I schools,
Right.
going to college somewhere, scholarship to this, opportunity to walk on here,
Right.
and just decided like this
The
is
JBA was the
this is
opportunity.
better than that. Yeah.
This was the thing that I found to be pretty crazy. At the beginning, the guys were saying, the commentators and stuff, they were saying that it was a good concept, just the wrong guy. And so for me, I'm like, okay, so you're telling me the guy that created it is the wrong guy. You see what I'm saying? You saying his idea is great. He put together a great idea, but you saying to me that he's the wrong guy. And I couldn't understand that correlation because it's like he created it.
Yeah.
So it's a great idea that this guy created. Now, why are you saying he's the wrong guy?
And I caught that too. And I think that what people always forget is it's always a team. Like
Right.
just one person
Right.
can't do this. So it's not even about who says this. I want to say it's a Facebook movie. I may be making this up, but it's about finding folks who know more than you do and
Right.
can make your ideas come true.
Add pieces, yeah.
So you got to do like LeVar, who is an idea guy who pulling stuff out, and it's a great concept.
Right.
But like, obviously, then they got to find folks who can help bring that concept together. And I think that's the part that folks tried to make it seem like LeVar
He
was
wouldn't
going
be
to sit
able to
around here
commentate and do that.
and run the commentary. He was going to ref the game,
Be the
coach
commissioner,
it,
be the coach. Right.
train all the players,
Right.
book
Just
all
run
the
his mouth,
hotels,
basically. That's
and
what they was just saying.
do all. Yeah.
They were basically just saying he was gonna run his mouth, right? But we see LeVar gets it done.
Yeah, and they put together a solid team. You know what I'm saying? You got Manny Alvarez, voice of the JBA,
Manny,
voice of Golden Throat,
One of Wayne's guys, Wayne Moreno,
the Wayne Moreno, who is a dude who
won a bunch of championships back in the '90s with the O'Mann brothers.
oh,
doing a little bit of everything.
yeah. They find the best people everywhere. It seems like, you know what I'm saying? You know, from all walks of life, whether it be sports or like you said in the business aspect too, and the people that they bring on board. Pretty good deal. Pretty good deal.
Yeah, so they moving around, man. I've been pleasantly surprised with the product that's touched the court. You know what I'm saying, and all of that stuff.
So give me your insight for tomorrow, man. Give us a little bit of breakdown for this Atlanta JBA inauguration.
Well, I know LA and Dallas, you're going to think, oh, well, Dallas is on 3. Like, I'm not sure about this. I'm going to give the edge of LA, but only because Young Week Taco is making his debut. He unfortunately was unavailable the first few weeks. He's now back.
Okay.
Unfortunately, they won't have Martavis Smothers, who's a very good basketball player. But, Khalil Walker, I keep calling him Salil. That's the way they told me it was, and they were wrong. So sorry, Khalil. McSpadden also. There's Macy and Peterson. And this team's starting to mesh around, and now you're going to get Week on there as well. So I think they're going to put up a fight. It's not going to be a blowout. LA will still win.
No doubt.
But Dallas is starting to turn around. I think they're going to get some wins out of this.
Okay.
Did you mention Dallas got another player outside of the week?
No, Wick was the guy.
No, but now they got another
they
guy.
did?
Yeah.
The
Oh, so
younger
you
guy
got
we
that?
saw outside, right?
Yeah,
I would have found that out tomorrow.
Wow.
I forgot his name. He told it to me.
Yeah, he just said it real
And
quick.
he looks
But
okay. I know who you're talking
from
about. He
Dallas.
looks like an athlete too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it looks like Dallas is starting to kind of turn this thing around. They got their main guy from day one, and now they're adding someone else.
Yeah.
So it's not over for them yet. They're going to
That's
make
the
some
first game.
strides.
That's gonna be the
First
first
game
game.
versus LA.
So that's
yeah.
the
And I'll
first
give LA
game.
the edge because they're adding 2 guys who are not used to the system yet.
Right.
But I think after this game, they'll finally kind of get it, and then everything's
Hey,
just
what's
kicking
up,
off.
King Den?
And
What's up, buddy?
not only that, but I think with Week there, it's going to give Nate Morris. It's going to take a lot of pressure off Nate Morris. It seems like he gets fouled a lot, and now
Yeah.
he's going to have to get to do his own stuff. So that's going to be good.
Yeah.
Cool.
And I would say too, with that Dallas team, Carlin McSpadden, Khalil Walker,
Okay.
those 2 dudes who, one game Khalil Walker had it going offensively and put on a show. Last game, Carlin McSpadden played more minutes at that point guard role, and you seen that the ball start moving. You seen Dallas kind of get into an offense.
Peterson,
Okay.
DeMar Peterson.
Yeah. And you start to see other folks get easy buckets, cutting to the basket. He'll find them, dunk.
Right.
Start seeing the ball move around the perimeter. So I believe the chemistry for that Dallas team is going to look good. It sucks that now they're adding 2 new players who they got to try to fit into that chemistry lineup.
And they're
But
going to get LA first.
I think that
Is that gonna be for the betterment though? You feel like?
but that's what I'm saying. I think that will be also for the betterment of that squad because one of
Right.
those dudes, Wick, was one of the guys who like set set the identity for that Dallas team earlier.
Okay.
If you looked at that Dallas team when he was here in training camp, they was having fun. They was hey, he bounced around. He left for a little bit. The demeanor of that team changed, and I feel like now that he's back,
the leader of the team.
So he got some definite leadership role, and
Okay.
they really respect him. So I see that being that's going to show up tomorrow. Now I think you put that against an LA team who was they played 3 games already together,
and they're trying to make a statement after losing New York.
and they just took a tough loss, so they coming out ready to.
Is Melo the leader of that team, or is it has been it's not established quite yet?
What is established?
I feel like you got to give him.
He's their go-to guy.
Yeah,
He's
he's
the-
the
oh,
offensive
what do you
leader.
mean?
I feel Niles has kind of been more has taken more of
The
the
general
role, but
type, yeah.
really when it comes down, you're going to hand it to LaMelo.
Yeah,
If you need buckets.
Yeah.
Okay.
I-
That makes sense.
You or Niles, honestly.
So that's a
Yeah,
role
bucket
he'll
wise.
probably have to grow into a little
Yeah.
bit more.
So that game, like you said, I think the edge go to LA, but it depends on what Dallas team show up.
Okay.
If the right Dallas team show up and they clicking on all cylinders, it could be a ball game. And from what we've seen so far in each one of these games,
Right.
is nobody's really laying down. You know what I'm saying? Like even games that I was like, this is not gonna be a ball. Everybody showed up. The LA New York game was
Right.
not supposed to be a ball game, and New York came in and beat them by 30.
By a lot, yeah.
Yeah.
And that 7:30 game was Atlanta and
The
Houston.
second game.
Houston.
Okay.
That's going to be a fun game.
Yeah.
I mean, you're
Everybody's
see,
stoked about that. It's the second
yeah, that's
game.
going to be a Houston team that gives you a lot of oohs and ahs of their dunking, especially with Lovelace.
Lovelace.
They
I like
can-
Lovelace. I like Lovelace.
They can hit the
Yeah,
three.
dunk on you.
I'm
Williams
ripping
knows
for the
who-
home team.
Calvin Williams knows who to throw it to.
I'm with the Atlanta Ballers.
And
I'm with the Atlanta Ballers.
The Atlanta Ballers got
We
some
taking
shooters.
the chip though. We taking the first
I can see it.
JBA chip.
I think we, with the talk of how Big Jelly Boyd, how great he is, you kind of forget about Nigel Chaney sometimes.
Right.
And that guy goes off. Jordan Ray too. Jordan
Ray
Ray
is
gets
nice.
way underlooked.
Ray is very nice. That's a nice overall team. I thought the LA team was gonna be so stacked up that nobody was gonna be able to beat them. You know what I mean? But I've been seeing some good competitive games. I think these kids are definitely they taking it serious though. It's not just like they coming out for a summer league game. They really act like professionals.
It's not a paycheck.
Yeah, they really are playing serious. I think that's a big deal.
Yeah, and they also have a Cal Williams guy who can throw, who can pass around, and Ice and Butler. He call him the glove in this league, you know.
Glove.
But they call him
Baby
Showtime.
Glove.
That's his nickname. Ice and Showtime Butler. And there's other guys. Xavier Johnson always pops in and comes to the occasion when needed. And Kendrick Summer, I don't think didn't play that much last time because of an injury. He's
Right.
fantastic off the bench. And this team's loaded. There's every piece
They're deep.
it's a deep roster. Yeah, kind of like Houston.
What's something about the JBA that y'all can tell me, somebody that just kind of on the outside looking in, that's getting a chance to hang out with you guys? Something about the JBA that you experienced that people at home probably want to
I would say the biggest thing about the JBA that people don't realize is these coaches are
What up?
really coaching. Like somebody Michael Martin says, Atlanta is the most fundamentally sound team in the league, right?
Right.
When I talked to Coach Douglas Bird, he talks to me about their whole thing is defense. So he's like, he approached these players as if they had never played defense before in their life,
Right.
and started them from scratch, coaching them up on like defensive principles and what that's supposed to play like. And then he's saying like the concepts and stuff that they putting into right now is stuff that like ain't no high school coach teaching them. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
They running like sets, professional sets. Like they trying to
Right.
gel. So like you get, if you go back to when the Vitotas, right, and then you had Jello and Mello over there, and the coach is like, yo, we teaching them whole new sets. You know what I'm saying? Things
Right.
that they never.
Right.
So obviously the chemistry is off when you got new players and you're trying to put it in. You're trying to actually run some sets. So that's gonna look
Right.
like that at some point.
Um,
But you're going to see like
What you got, man?
these teams are
Yeah, and every team, Dallas, you can't blame the coach. he's won so many titles as high school coach in San Diego now with El Camino Oceanside, coaching the college ranks. But I was thinking with Atlanta, does it help that a lot of these teams have had to make some roster changes, unfortunately, or for the good for them. Atlanta hasn't made a change at all. I know LA hasn't either. Yeah, has that helped for chemistry?
I mean, chemistry-wise, yeah. I think, though, it's tough, though, because in New York, like, they look like a whole new team right in that last
Hold
game.
on, I don't mean to cut you off. Are you saying guys are being traded from one team to another, or filling in on other teams, or people being just added to the league?
There has been a couple trades, and this is a professional league, so
Right.
I mean, if you're not performing, then there's going to be a change.
You're gonna get moved, right?
Yeah, and so that's been the case. Some players haven't performed, or there have been times where players just say, you know what, maybe this isn't for me.
Oh, really? We've actually had some guys drop out of the JBA so far.
I mean, it's life, when these kids, it's a job.
Right.
A lot of kids, when they get those big boy jobs, they don't
And
like
that
it.
pressure
That's
is on
unfortunate.
you.
They want to do their style of play, and they come in and you guys, no, this is the professional league.
Yeah,
It's
exactly.
more
Different style.
organized, serious format. Yeah.
Yeah, and unfortunately, these kids I've talked to before, they got kind of good kids, but unfortunately, it's like I said, it's
Just
a
not-
professional league. There's gonna be cuts,
Wow, that's some good insight. The JBA is not a game, so if you want to try out next year, just know you can still get sent home.
And it's one of those things where this is a league that is for guys who want to play basketball on that next level. You know what I'm saying? So this is not really that league where it's like, I just like the game a lot and I just want to, you know what I mean? So you got to be working your game and you got to be perfecting it. And so we talk about a lot of players. In the last broadcast, I talked about Calvin Brown, a guy who was in school, said he stopped going to school because he wanted to spend time perfecting his craft. Then you go out and you watch him play versus LA and he go and drop 30, 40 points. And you see what that takes. That's the beauty of this compared to what I think the beauty of this compared to NCAA. Where you see these professional athletes, let's take and they got these side jobs, right? And everybody say, dang, you should be working on your game, but you over here making movies and you doing this.
Right.
And then you look at college athletes, you should be working on your game, but you got 3
Homework.
papers, homework, film, finals,
right.
lab, all of this stuff. Just you can't work on your game and do all of that.
Right.
These dudes here is game all day, every day. I woke up, I'm with my team, we working on our game, we going to sleep, we building chemistry, we working on our game.
Right.
And I think that you're going to see the progression from these players from that first game to the last game just be ridiculous, because this summer is all about basketball for them.
So can you give us some insight on what the practices are like? How much what are these guys really learning?
So that's what I'm saying. Every team is their own different unit.
Okay.
So every team is just like if you went to college or whatever, that program has its own style. You know what I mean? So
correct.
When you really just dig into the history and the background of a lot of these coaches, you got guys from Seattle who played in the NBA, played UCLA national champions. So they've got a great sense of the game.
Pedigree, yeah.
Bunch of guys who played Division I basketball here and there. 20, 30 years, you talk about the Dallas coach. California Basketball Hall of Fame.
Right. Wow.
You know
I
what
didn't
I'm
know
saying?
that.
So,
Coaches with
Johnson,
real
Dallas,
credentials.
So, coach for Houston, Rick Nelson, been coaching in Texas, look him up, for 30 years. You know what I'm saying? So these is dudes who putting in their own schemes and things like that. So everybody's practice and stuff look different. But if you go to training camp, man, training camp was 8 hours a day of basketball.
Wow.
You know what I'm saying?
Wow.
And I'm talking about in the gym, not just we spent 2 hours doing film and then we spent 2 hours this and then reading a book. I'm talking about 8 hours in the gym, skills development, team, you know what I'm saying, practice, conditioning, all of that stuff. So
Okay.
it's
A combination of all types of different things.
Yep. So
That's dope.
it's interesting, man. These dudes putting in a lot of hard work, man, to
Yeah.
kind of chase their dreams. And it's cool watching them get closer and closer and closer. And it's extra cool seeing them be very, like, happy with what's happening, right?
Right.
One of the mottos of anybody who, like, associated with, like, the brand,
Right.
especially, like, the founding, like, members of everything,
Mm-hmm.
is not to not get bogged down by, like, haters or, like, the
Right.
white, you know what I mean? And just seeing a lot of these players adapt that same philosophy, because obviously you tune in, everybody's super critical of everything.
Yeah, of course.
But these dudes who here, man, who show up and play at these games, they loving this experience, man.
So what is it like for you and Manny as a part of the media group that's actually doing actually being a part of the game itself, speaking and how's that experience so far?
To me, it's dope. It's history.
Yeah, it's I've covered high school sports. I've interviewed Lonzo, Leangelo, and LaMelo when they're at Chino
Chinos,
Hills.
okay.
And all these, I've interviewed Isom Butler who's at Centennial. I don't think he even knew that. Brandon Phillips, I've seen when he plays for LA. I've seen him play basketball in Newport Harbor, and I've heard of Deshaun Washington from Cajon. And so all these players, it's weird to see those kids in their high school uniform, and now they're here playing in the pros just a couple years later. It's
Nice.
it's a little different from high school, because
Right.
there's only like 2 or 3 guys that really stand out, and then there's those kids, they just make the cut, But yeah, it's just really like it's a whole different level from the high school stuff I've been covering for the last 5-6 years. Yeah, it's unreal. You get more viewers. You notice people are like just watching under a microscope as well, like the players. But
Right.
pretty cool. It's a fun experience, especially going on. It's like we're on tour right now.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
What about you, AB?
Man, that's what I'm saying. To me, man, it's amazing just on account of being part of, like, history. You know what I'm saying? Like, this is the first time, like, this is the inaugural season. You know what I'm saying? So that's history in
Correct.
itself. But then,
Correct.
like, the premise behind it and what this means as
league
far
itself,
as,
right.
like, challenging the status quo in the system, like, to me, that's dope to
Yeah.
be there and be a part of that. In 30 years, when people go back and they start watching these first initial games, they're going to hear Manny in the background.
Right.
Run the dunk. And they're going to hear me on there. Scoop-de-whoop-de. You know what I'm saying? Just talking whatever I be talking.
You can be like Chick Hearn.
Yeah, exactly. They gonna be like,
Man, be
"Yo,
like, shit."
pulling the chicken out the oven. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's just
That's
dope.
dope,
You know
though.
what I'm saying?
Thinking
Yeah.
about that, right?
Yeah, exactly. That's
Yeah,
that
is
part.
super cool, man.
And then even, man, just a lot of the fact that they gave me the opportunity to even be a part of it, from, like, maneuvering from the platforms that I was doing to, like, even that's just a crazy thing when I think about the fact that, like, what is it?
Connecting
It's
like that.
July in May.
Okay.
If you would have asked me in May, well, not say like May, let's say like April. If you'd have been like in April,
Top of the year, right?
but a year, you'd have been like, yo, bro, you would have been in 6 cities, you know what I'm saying, that you had never been in this summer in a week and a half.
Announcing for the game.
Announcing for the JBA, I'd have been like, bro, that's
Stop with
crazy.
that.
Yeah, you out here. You know what I mean? But
When they told me that, I thought something's gonna happen. Like it's like, because I've had those opportunities to go travel.
Okay.
Like I wanted to go on a summer trip a couple years ago. I was ready to go, and then I got laid off from the TV station. Like, oh, I'm never gonna get this opportunity. And then this showed up again. I'm like, something's gonna happen. That can't be real. I am not really gonna travel. And then it happened. Like, holy cow, I really am traveling. This is
Yeah,
nuts.
we
I'm
out
going to
here.
Houston and Chicago, and we're in Atlanta right
we
now.
out here,
Right.
we in Seattle.
And that's just
We
a
all
trip in
over.
itself. I remember when Alan, they found out I was the Alan Foster. Found out I was the announcer. He's like, well, let me hear your voice. And I did a voice like, dude, we need you to get a click. Like, we need like something that's gonna like. And I'm like, well, I got my mustache. He's like, that's not gonna work. And little I know, apparently the suits I wear is now my click. I come out there
Nice.
with a vest, or I come out with the suit. I had like little flowery, designy-ish
Yeah.
outfit on
So
Saturday.
you like the master of ceremony, right? You
yeah,
keeping everything.
I'm the Bruce
Yeah.
Buffer or Michael Buffer.
Oh,
I prefer
man.
Michael Buffer.
Come on, man. Give us a little hit, man. Come on, man.
My,
Jump in.
Give us a little hit
I
on
gotta
the
clone
last
this
one.
one too. I gotta market this. Oh, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, fasten your seatbelts. Here we go.
Hey, we done.
Man, he turned up.
Man,
He got the voice too.
I thought whenever the first time you jumped off, I thought we had like somebody was playing a recording just over the loudspeakers.
Oh, you thought it was like a playback?
Yeah. I didn't realize he was over there doing the whole
Standing
voice.
there like-
Yeah.
Oh, that's dope, Manny. That is too dope. You got the whole JBA movement is just crazy, man.
Yeah.
And so I'm excited about getting back here and hanging with you guys and getting a chance to learn more about the JBA, learn more about you guys individually. It's dope, man.
Straight up, man. I feel like the beauty of this thing, man, is every game has gotten better. Every game, the production from like the stream has gotten better.
Right.
Every game, the players on the players from each team
Right.
are playing a little bit better. People get more comfortable. Coaches get more comfortable. It's just one of those things where by the end of this season, man, what we've been putting out here
Right.
is going to be on a completely another level. So the next season when it jump
Woo,
off,
season
we're
2.
starting from the end of this season.
Right.
People don't really know, man. This is from scratch out here.
Yeah. No,
You-
there are some things I wish, like, oh, we should have done this, should have done that, but then I realized this is year one, you know.
Right.
Yeah.
On the
When
tip
you
of the
have-
spear.
When you have expansion teams, like in the NBA, like Grizzlies and the Raptors, or even
Seattle
the
before they
New
moved to
Orleans,
Oklahoma.
the Bobcats, I think it was.
Okay.
They didn't start winning from the get-go, you know. They struggled because they were still trying to figure out, all right, what can we do here? And for us, I think we're doing a little better than that. I think we're starting to figure out.
I've watched every game. The production is already at the high level.
Exactly.
The production's on a high level. It's just getting everything in sync, you know.
And even
that's
then,
it, really.
we still see sometimes like, what can we do to improve? Like
Exactly.
we had a meeting earlier today
Right.
with our production team, and we're saying, you know what, we're doing a very fantastic job, but let's not get too what's the
Not
word?
get caught up.
Lackadaisy.
Comfortable.
Too comfortable.
Yeah.
And I don't see any of us.
Y'all
wanting to get
doing
too comfortable.
good,
We want
man.
to find things that improve.
Exactly.
And there will be things that'll improve definitely in the rest of the season, and definitely in year 2.
I believe in you guys, man. Everything you guys are doing, I mean, I watch it. Like I'm putting you guys under the microscope. Like I actually judge, you know, what level you guys are on. Because I felt like my channel was built on telling the truth and, you know, being straightforward. And man, from AB to now me meeting you, man, you guys are at a level that, you know, is to be rivaled in the years to come, though. You know what I'm saying? Because it's a self-contained unit of it's almost like, I wouldn't call it a circus because it's not a circus, but you know how the circus comes to town, though, and it's everybody's getting their ticket, and you got the ringmaster, you got the teams, you got the show, you know, and so I'm seeing that see, LeVar is super smart to me because he knows how to keep it simple, but then still put together, you know, something that's new and innovative. You know what I mean? And I think that's dope, man.
I feel like in my space and what insight that I feel like I've been trying to provide, and I feel like testament what you just said is obviously there's a million things that we can do, right? If you compare this to like today's NBA, like there's the NBA, they got millions and billions of dollars, you know what I'm saying? So
At their disposal, right.
they doing a bunch of stuff. They got the live stats updating everything you need to know about the player. They got pictures from every angle and all of this
Correct.
stuff. And that's stuff that we can do, right? But like in year 1, it's about focusing on like getting the product
The model
right. You know what I'm
right,
saying?
yeah.
Getting the structure right. And then you start adding little greebly bits here and there to
Fine tuning each section.
fine tune it, and then things that like people like just are used to having. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
If you show up on game day and like the stream cutting in and out and it ain't working, like
That's a problem.
You can't. It's a problem. You know
Or
what
like
I'm saying?
I remember, I
If you-
think the first game we had an issue with maybe the scoreboard or something didn't show up at the halftime.
Yeah. So,
Right.
even like stuff like that, that was
That was a technical issue.
technical issue, but it's just one of those things where when everybody's getting the stuff ready, nobody's thinking like, yo, we need a graphic for the scoreboard and the thing. You know what I mean?
Right.
So like,
Right.
if you look at that, the first game, you had
It was a
because I had
different
to
type of
keep
lower third.
I had to keep broadcasting like how
The
much
score
time
and
is
stuff.
left in the
Oh,
clock.
yeah.
What's the score?
Right.
Then by the time the second game happened,
It was already, they
It
had
was a-
built their
yeah, exactly.
lower third, with the
So-
scoreboard and stuff.
those are the things that will continue to
But
roll
you,
out.
I mean, you
in
see
every
stuff
game.
like that happen in the NBA sometimes. They put the wrong scorer up, or so. I mean, it's be some
gonna
you know,
be-
some
it's
things that
growth.
can happen.
Yeah, exactly. It's just one of the things where if you see that one game, then you see it the next game and the next game and the next game, then that's where you got a problem.
Right.
But once you start to see stuff, man, and then and you see it's being fixed, it's just that's the beauty of this thing, man. By the time this is all said and done, it's gonna be on something special. And if you really compare this to year one of anything, it's above and beyond.
Oh yeah, if you could try to compare it to something like the XFL or something that just, you know, like you said, the expansion league or something, man, I'm pretty sure the JBA is doing millions of views right now, which is unheard of when you're talking about not having any like mainstream advertising and stuff like that, and just being able to put that ball name is pretty much set in stone in America now. That anything that's coming behind that is a wave. It's a wave.
Go back to our list.
Okay, yeah. Top 10 players.
Top 10 players. Now that's something I think you guys probably have a little bit more insight than me on. You know what I'm saying? Because I'm just like watching the games. I don't really know all the guys yet, but I've watched the games. I got a couple of favorites, but I don't think I know the top 10 players in that league.
You know, there's a little changes here, and I wish I would have kept my list last week. But I think only 2 people are new in this list. 2 people I dropped. Number 10, Jamichael Morgan. I think I had him like at 6 last week. Kind of struggled a little bit this past week, but then again, so did the rest of the Dallas team. It was a tough loss, I believe, against was it Houston? No, it was Atlanta, right?
Last week,
Atlanta, yeah.
y'all played
It was
Atlanta.
against Atlanta.
Yeah, last week.
And so he still stays there at the top 10. He's probably someone that's probably going to stay there the whole time. You know, at 9, Corey Boyd. I think we're realizing there's some other players that are on this team are just even better than Corey. And I'm going to mention one later. One that's right outside this list I really wanted to put on the list was Jordan Ray. Fantastic athlete. He's another guy that's right there. We thought Big Jelly was the main guy, and now we're starting to see other people around him kind of do some more big things.
That's true.
But he's still I mean, name me another guy at the same size as Big Jelly that can just drive it in. You know, he's not a guy who's going to stand there in the post like Shaq and just, you know, push it in. He's actually going to stay at the 3-point line and just drive it right in.
With a handle, right?
Yeah.
With a handle.
Hey, Khalil Walker. He had a fantastic game against Houston. And I really have to put him on there. He's been coming around pretty quickly. He's the guy who's pretty much new to this program. And he's kind of been leading the way there. 7, Greg Floyd Jr. Yes, I do know that he was hurt against New York, but he seems to be now the number 3 guy, the big 3 now. And not his fault. You know, Nazmal has really kind of made a splash very quickly. But was it 31 rebounds or 33 rebounds against
31
Seattle?
points, 33 rebounds.
And that was phenomenal. 6, Curtis Hollis. I do believe he is not the flashiest, the ooh and ah guy that does all the dunks. That's, you know, Lovelace and Handy that does all that work. But he puts the most points in. He's a guy that you basically just kind of hand the ball to when you need it, and especially against Dallas when Dallas is trying to make that little comeback. So he's at 6. 5, Nigel Chaney. He's either Nigel or Jordan, but Nigel's been just kind of consistent this whole time with the big numbers. And I think he had another. I think it was him and Jordan that put up 40 points each, just about against Seattle. And so I moved him up a little bit from 5. I had him at 10 last week. 4, I had to put LaMelo Ball down one player, one ranking. LaMelo's at 4, still struggling at the 3 line. And like I was talking to Doyle Balzazar, the head coach at LA. He said if he's struggling now, I can't imagine how he's going to be when he's on his game. Because he can still drive and take a twos.
He can still get,
I mean,
in the cup.
you put him at the line for the free throw. Don't
money,
even bother
cash.
rebound. Don't even bother going for a rebound because you're just going to have to stand there and wait for those 2 to go in easily.
Your lungs a little bit of that juice.
Yeah. You know, but at 4 and he's still struggling is pretty good. I mean, this guy, once he gets those 3s in, it's a whole other world, you know. 3, Keezo Brown. People are going to think maybe that's a little too high, you know, because it's no longer just his team. You know, he's got a bunch of other people around him. Dion Lyle, Leno Watson.
He got some help.
Montreal Dixon. Harrison Rieger. You know, he's got a lot of help. Antonio Singleton is another one. There's so many other guys I'm forgetting, but he put on a big show in Chicago. I think right after we did the recording last week in Chicago. Afterwards, he comes in and has this phenomenal game in front of the electric Chicago crowd.
True, I saw that game.
Yeah,
very good performance.
2 Jarrell Springer. You know, I think like Jamichael.
Springer at 2.
Like Jamichael, he struggled a little bit against Atlanta, but Springer still put on pretty good numbers. But the fact that people are comparing him to Russell Westbrook is insane. And that's high praise. He's another guy. Like I was telling you, there's going to be maybe 4 or 5 players we're not going to see in this league next year because they're going to be overseas playing professionally.
Okay.
And
anybody you see going to the league next year?
Into NBA?
Yeah.
Like
maybe
like
I
there's
feel
some potential.
Are you feeling that?
Potential.
I know it's early in the season,
Yeah.
but you seeing some guys.
Next year, I don't know about next year.
There's guys who athletically could do something over there. I think that with some of the coaching and all of that
They
stuff,
need a little bit more fundamental stuff.
and just we have to see them maintain the level of play that they've had in flashes. You know what I'm saying?
Okay, you want to see more consistent
Yeah.
play.
So like, if you're gonna jump from here to the NBA next year, you could put 8 games in a row where you
dominate the JBA,
working everything. You know what I'm saying?
Gotcha.
I feel like you get some of that going, then
Now.
that's when you got somebody who can make that jump.
I feel
But just one game, I can't offer 2 games. Be like, yo,
League
you
ready.
out.
League ready.
done. He
He
know what I'm saying?
go, right.
Yeah, but
I can see.
I can see the potential there.
I can see
now.
maybe 4 or 5 guys right now on this list.
Right.
Like they're gonna play someday in the NBA, but I mean it's gonna
Yeah.
take a while. They're gonna go overseas, and if they can do that, then they'll move into the G League.
So
and
you
if that
saying
works,
guys-
they'll probably be playing in the NBA. Yeah,
Okay.
it's kind of like baseball
At
in
this
the minor
point-
leagues. You know, you start in rookie ball and you move to the single
Yeah.
A, double A, triple A, and then you get the major leagues. But,
Okay. I got you.
Yeah.
Jarrell Springer's one of those guys, definitely. Same with
100%.
Keys, always stays
I get
healthy, and Melo's obviously a punchy
Yeah.
if everything goes right. Once again, Niles Malone. You know, can you imagine if this guy was 6'3"? You know,
Oh my goodness.
He would not be in
He's
this
a
league.
bulldog.
He wouldn't be in this
no,
league.
no.
He'd probably be playing at Duke right now, or he
Yeah.
probably would have had an NBA hat in draft day last week. You know,
Yeah.
but I mean, the guy is consistent with his numbers. I think, you know, against New York was his lowest point. How many did he have?
27.
27. That's, I mean, if there's players who averaged about 27, and that's phenomenal. 27 is his lowest.
Yeah.
You know, and
That's his lowest performance.
The
What,
fact-
what is he shooting from the field?
See, that's where this last game hurt him. 30% from 3-point line. 32% from the field.
From the floor.
Yeah.
Oh.
you know, but
Which is off for him.
But what's that's what I was about to ask.
off 27 points is off for Niles Malone. You know, you give me 27 points, I'm gonna tell my grandkids the rest of my life how to score 27.
Yeah, exactly.
Me
No.
too. Me too. I'm with you.
He's gonna score 27. He's gonna go straight to the hotel room, fall asleep. He's had a terrible day. You know, this is another guy who hopefully he can go overseas, and maybe they'll just ignore the fact that he's a little shorter than the average, but the guy plays like he's 6'3". You know,
Yeah.
like I said, if he's 6'3", he's already gotten he's already got drafted in the first round of the NBA after playing at Duke. You know?
Yeah. Who's the best shooter in the JBA so far? The guy who you think's the best shooter.
Let's say
In the league.
Chris Hollis.
I gotta go with Devin Haight.
I like Hollis too.
He had an off game though. On
But not
Actually, I'm not
shooting.
thinking about Taj Royster.
Boy, they got the stats.
Taj Royster had an
Todd
off
Royster
night.
had an off game.
Yeah. And
I'm saying Devin Haight is a dude who. Nah, damn, maybe he did. This ain't right. They got Devin Haight 1 for 10 from behind the arc.
Woo! Shot 10% from the line.
maybe that's what I saw if that was true, but I mean, he had 20 points. Maybe that's why. Again, Devin Hayes is another guy where you expect more out of him, but 20 points just seems like it's not a Devin Hayes type number.
Yeah, no.
Yeah.
I know Taj Royster, you know, it was unfortunately just a bad night for him too, because that's, you know, you expect him to get about 22. Yeah, but Devin Hayes, yeah, he's had a good shot too. I know Jordan Ray and Nigel Cheney have the same thing.
Oh, I'm tripping.
You're thinking about
Nigel Cheney. I don't know
Oh,
why.
okay,
Yeah, I'm tripping.
Okay.
Dude, they were making
okay.
it rain.
That's what I'm saying. I don't even know why I'm
I
tripping.
was like,
yeah,
hey,
he
I
got
didn't even know who you were talking about.
Yeah, I forgot all about them boys, man.
Come on, man.
Them the shooters.
Cheney, right?
Them the shooters right there. Yeah, Cheney right there. Nigel Cheney.
Nigel.
Devin Hayter.
What's up, Nigel?
He can shoot that thing.
Wet.
Ray and Cheney. I mean, we talk about Hollis, talk about Haight. I mean, some really fantastic. And once LaMelo kind of gets his groove in there in the three, he's going to be up there.
Right. So you guys know, okay, how's the playoff stuff work, or is that still being formulated right
No,
now?
it's ready. I mean, it's going to be an 8-team playoff. Everybody's in. But like I said, if it started right now, it'd be Atlanta taking on Dallas. You know, the 1-8.
1-8. Okay.
And it's not like Atlanta's going to just walk through that. I mean, like I said,
Well, how many games are in those series?
It's going to be one and done.
Oh, one and done.
Yeah. So
okay.
you might have a bad night, and everything you worked for is gone.
It's gone. So you got to keep it sharp.
Which I like.
I like it too.
I mean, that's kind of like an NCAA. You know, Virginia has this fantastic year, and then they just kind of pooped the bed against what's that team? UMBC, that 16 seed in the March Madness.
UOB or something like that. Wasn't it?
Yeah, one bad night, and then the one team that is gone.
Yeah.
And the same thing can happen to you. If the standings stay straight the whole year, and it's Dallas, Atlanta, don't count out Dallas. I mean, they're gonna
100%.
get
I
ready.
got Dallas to stay down there for long.
I don't think that there's any team right now that you could count out as just losing a game.
Dallas is gonna get
anybody.
there. Philly, if they can bring to what they brought in the first quarter to the fourth quarter, they're gonna get a bunch of W's. I think New York just kind of made a statement saying, you know what, we got this new guy, and that they're coming with so much momentum right now.
Yep.
Is he gonna be starting or?
I want to say he started. Did he start again?
Irby, no, I think he came off the bench.
bench,
He's gonna start now.
Oh, that's what I was asking.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
He earned it.
You know, Seattle, you know, the two losses aren't, you know, they're the two best teams, you know, Atlanta and LA.
Yeah.
LA, I think they're gonna blow up now that they know they're not gonna be this perfect team. They're gonna figure out, okay, we gotta fix this. People are gonna come after us. Hopefully, Atlanta knows that this isn't gonna be easy for them. They gotta work hard.
Seattle got one of those things where their first loss back to back, they were dominating that game, and then all of a sudden that just the fatigue starts setting in on them. Then the second loss versus Atlanta, same thing. They were in the game. It was a ball game. Jarrell Springer gets hurt. She misses some clutch minutes.
Yeah,
they got Devin Mitchell, who had a concussion, I think, who was sitting on the bench. So, like, that Seattle team, you didn't even see them at. It wasn't like LA versus Seattle full strength. You know what I'm saying?
And I think that's why
Atlanta,
Morgan
Seattle.
had a bad night because, like, all right, well, if we stop Morgan, we're good. And
Exactly,
they
yeah.
just went after him.
Exactly. They lost some of the parity within their own team as far as getting buckets, and that really showed up on the court.
I believe it, man.
Who's your 10?
Huh?
Who's your 10?
Man, I really don't.
Don't try to skip over your team.
I was trying to put it together, man, but I should have did this after the last game. I really, because really my 10 will change every week, all the way around. You know what I'm saying?
Why is that?
Just on the count of like I said, I want to see consistency. You know what I'm saying? So like, if you drop 40-40 and you give me 27, you still, you know what I'm saying?
You still balling,
you still balling,
but you come down some.
Yeah, you ain't.
Plus,
number
you getting
one.
to watch these guys in their actual environment without actually being on the court sometimes too. So you get to see who's got the edge this week, who's turned up in practice.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? Who's working the hardest.
My list too is, so when I look at a dude like Curtis Hollis, who he ain't went for 40 or nothing like that yet, but his numbers is consistent. So to me, I'm shooting him up the list. You know what I'm saying? When I see Kizo go for 46 and then do what he did last week, he go up my list. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Just on the back to back to back.
Right.
And because I expect him to be able to knock that out another time. You know what I'm saying?
Right. I got you.
So like, in my list, it's not. It's some of it is like a projection of what I expect from him to do next.
This next week, okay.
Yeah. But so like in last week, I had Taj Royster at number 5. Dude played for Philly, and right now, based off last performance, I had to pull him out my top 10. You know what I'm saying?
What did he do last time?
Just not didn't give me the same thing. You know what I'm
Okay.
saying? So
Not
like
even
if
a
he,
top 10 performance.
yeah, you know what I'm saying? Like I can't give you put you in the top 10 when I got Nigel Chaney shooting 11 3-pointers, Ray shooting 9. You know what I'm saying? Even if they just that to me, they slid up the ranking. You know what I'm saying right there.
Right.
A
NBA
big jelly
3-point.
Yeah, going inside outside, showing his range. You know what I'm saying? Like that matters. So my man, right now I could give you top 5.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Remember, I was the only organized one here.
Yeah. Right now, my top 5: Nigel Chaney.
You starting at 5 or you starting at 1?
5.
Okay.
Number 5, Nigel Chaney. Which really,
Which, by the way,
he could go up. For some reason, the only reason why he ain't like in the top 2 right now, the way he's shooting the ball, is on account of these other dudes just feel like just do way too much. You know what I'm saying? They just do so much more.
Right.
Then I feel like he just gets. I'm sure he show up on the defense end and all that and do his thing, but his shot is really what's got him that high on the list.
Okay.
Whereas
do you feel like we're giving Jordan Ray the cold shoulder here? Because he did the same thing pretty much.
what?
Because I don't have him in my top 10. Maybe Brandon does.
I haven't even heard his name.
I'm saying if Nigel Chaney 5, I got Jordan Ray at 6. You know what I'm saying?
Well, what is he
So,
playing
maybe
guard?
it's just me.
Yeah, they both guards. But I don't know. I feel what you're saying, and that's what I'm saying. I think that's a tough. That's also, they both are like in the same boat as far as like. I don't know.
Has he ranked in any week?
You could, huh?
Has he ranked with you guys on any week yet?
Not
Or no?
yet, but he could have, because I feel like Jordan Ray is a dude who also,
And
when I
that's why
talk
you
about
posing the
on the
question, like, y'all
defense
just
end,
overlooking him basically.
yeah.
We're not overlooking him, but I feel like we go with Chaney and then Ray. Like he's like the
Sidekick.
Yeah, I don't know. That's a tough one, because I feel like those two could flip, and I think the tough part
and it
about
probably will flip eventually.
the issue with the Atlanta team is they seem so by committee. Like there's not one dude on that team who look like
The front runner.
if he struggle, then that team,
The
is
team will
done.
lose.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like when Jarrell Springer come out for Seattle, we all like, okay, that's gonna hurt that
Oh,
squad.
team going down, right?
Yeah, it's gonna hurt. Like they got some dudes, but he the lifeblood of that team. Kizo, he the lifeblood of that team. Curtis Hollis, lifeblood.
I feel like
Nigel Chaney, Jordan Ray.
You take one down, Fionn Brown comes out of nowhere.
Exactly, yeah. And so
Bryson Butler.
Gotcha.
so they just seem like a more of a unit, which hurt their like individual performance wise.
Right.
But still, if
Very
I was
interchangeable.
putting together a like JBA team that I was gonna go take overseas and play somebody, I need both of them on my team just for buckets. You know what I'm saying?
Gotcha.
Then so I got Jarrell Springer at 4, Kizo Brown at 3,
Three spot.
Curtis Hollis at 2. And I don't know, I got Nas Malone still at 1. But I'm debating on.
You just don't want to keep the same guy at 1.
Yeah, I don't know.
But he deserved it though.
He deserved
He's
it.
the best player I've seen so far in
Yeah.
JBA. Other than Melo,
Yeah.
I need to see Melo more
And-
motivated though. I want to see when he's just like upset about it all. That's what I'm waiting on. Upset Melo.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know what I
I
mean?
think even too though, if I really was to rank Melo right now, because I think I had him at 3. I feel like he slid performance wise. I had to slide him out of my top 5
Why?
just on account, like I'm saying, like I watched Curtis Hollis do
Blitz it,
everything.
right?
Yeah.
Put on a
Defense.
show, defense, offense,
Right,
inside, outside, shooting it, clutch baskets. And I watched Melo highlights, get to the bucket, fill up the hole. You know what I'm saying? Even like what I love from him too is at the halftime in that last game, he gave Brandon like the shortest interview ever. But you could tell he don't like losing. You know what I'm saying? Like he was into the game. You know what I'm saying? Like, yo,
You
we
could
need
tell
to
he was
rebound.
upset, right?
Yeah. And he said, yo, we need to rebound. And you look at the box score and they was getting out rebounded by 40. So he's
he's
he like
aware of it.
aware of what the issue is, you know what I'm saying?
Right. Okay.
So I love all that about him, but it's just like when I watch Keezo Brown hit basically a game winner, and then take his team into overtime, ice a victory. You know what I mean, and seal up a victory in front of his home crowd. Like I gotta give him a little punch for that.
Yeah, he deserves it.
Yeah. So
we'll go with that.
So yeah,
So no Melo Ball in your top 5 this week.
Honestly, let me look at
oh man, get your box score.
I'll further review.
Upon further review, let me check this out here.
Well, he had 44.
Cause see, that's what I'm saying. He had 44.
On how many shots?
Yeah, exactly. You wonder, like, well, like it wasn't his best game. Like, how?
But he had 23 free throws. He went to the line.
So he was getting fouled a lot. That's half his
hit 20 of them. He hit 20. Made
20 out of 23.
So that's what I'm saying.
Melo. I like that.
That's what I'm saying. Like that's the ability to draw that much contact.
But what was his percentages from the floor though?
Nah, that's what I'm saying. Like that whole team shot ridiculously poor from the outside. But that's what I mean. Like really, honestly, I could slide Niles Malone to 6. Put Melo at 5, Chaney at 4, Springer 3, Keezo 2, Curtis Hollis number 1.
King C, what's up, buddy?
You know what I'm saying? Like I could
shoebox money.
That's how I feel like my top 10 list is gonna look different every week.
Keep them racks under the bed.
I mean, power ranking.
Who did I take out? I know I added Walker and Hollis. I had Lovelace in there. I had Devin Hayde there. I feel like I was thinking, Jordan Ray definitely is going to be the next guy on the list. Nolan Irby if he keeps doing what he's doing. Fionn Brown. I mean, there's so many players that Shannon Handy, Jordan Myers. Rieger's been coming around.
Yeah. So where we at now?
Mitchell, if he wasn't hurt.
The beginning of the season, where we at? Midpoint? Where we at now?
Almost at midpoint.
Almost at the midpoint.
Like a quarter out.
Yeah. Oh. We almost the first round.
That boy Yorn, it's time for him to get some JB dead.
Down.
B dead, right?
BD. BD. Oh, like BD.
Oh, that's gonna be the new song. BD.
Man, that New York team, man, won every quarter.
Who's the toughest team? Like muscle wise?
Wow.
Chicago.
You got, if you don't say Chicago, man, Coach Eddie Denard gonna be in here.
Oh, you're right. Based on the concern of my safety. No, you know what?
Tell it like it is, man. Don't let them scare you.
I gotta say Philly in there too, though.
Philly is tough.
You think
squad.
Philly is pretty
He's
good?
got a tough one. I mean, Chicago does too. I go Philly.
Damn,
who can win a game based on toughness? You think it's Chicago or
He's
Philly?
gonna go Chicago. You know what? It's flip flop here.
Huh?
I gotta flip flop. I go with Chicago.
For tough wise and hunger. Man, really, when it comes to hunger, man, I feel like you see that in every team.
It's tough.
Like they want to win. Like ain't nobody's walking out of these games like, man, I'm just happy I got to play. Like
they trying to win.
Yeah. Down. That's what I'm saying. Like that talking to Melo at halftime, it wasn't like, oh, I'm just so excited to be here. It's like, nah, bro, we gotta do better. You know what I'm saying? And I love that. They engage everybody. Each team is like, yo,
what are we gonna do to make this better?
It's a tough loss. You know what I'm saying? Like I was affected last night. We couldn't sleep because I was thinking about what I could have done better. You know what I'm saying? Like that's where you want people at. You know what I'm saying?
Right. People aren't just cheering and still having a good time after the game.
It ain't like, yo, man, we got to eat downtown yesterday. And
like James Harden lose and go straight to the club. And you see him hanging out, drinking, and having a good time.
Having a good time.
Rod, you just got your head knocked.
You can have a sense like if these guys lose, they just get straight to the hotel.
Yeah.
Just, like
it's quiet
all night. I want to go to bed. Leave me alone.
Yeah,
it's a terrible night. You know.
Right.
And you can see it. Yeah, but
and it don't matter how many people watching. Like it ain't like, cause our attendance has been growing. You know what I'm saying? But they not like, you know, it wasn't a packed arena today, so I don't care.
I think they're seeing it like us, going through Facebook, seeing, okay, there are people watching.
Yeah, but even it could be an empty room in there, and these dudes gonna go at it. You know what I'm saying? When they was doing scrimmages in front of nobody, they was playing them scrimmages like it was a packed arena. You know what I'm saying? I would like to see a JBA Dream Team, best of the best, travel the globe and compete for bragging rights against other countries. That's what's gonna happen.
That's dope. That's dope, King. See,
but that's what's happening. That's what they're gonna do. That's already in the plan.
I thought LeVar was gonna battle the tosses for a minute. I said he's gonna own. For a minute, I thought LeVar had the team. I was like, man, that's gonna be crazy. On his own team.
But I mean, now he on his own league.
Right. That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. I'm going league.
You go on your own squad. You know what's so crazy though? I was thinking about this the other day, right? When Melo first left high school and LeVar was there, was like, where he gonna play at? He was like, man, I could just take him down the south side and we could get some dudes play against him.
Play in the hood, right?
Now, like, we just start our own league. You just play around here in our own jerseys, in our own brand. Everybody wearing our shoes.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And we'll travel all around the world, and he just play the best players from every neighborhood in the whole world. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that must be. And we get picked up for that. I go from like, oh my god, I got to see Atlanta. I was like, oh my gosh, I got to go to Lithuania.
Right. You know what I'm saying?
Right. Now you're in Paris playing.
That's the
Real Madrid.
That to me is, and we can wrap it up off of this one. Right. That's why I mess with the brand. That's what is inspiring about it to me, is that, and I always talk about this way back. I did a lot of youth work, you know what I'm saying, growing up. Like I post college, and I talk to a lot of kids who like see these, like they get these hurdles, you know what I'm saying. Something happened, and they feel like that's the end of it. Like I missed my opportunity. I didn't go to college right away. Right. I got arrested. I did this. My mama ain't there. I'm homeless. All of this stuff. All these opportunities.
My sister needs help with her kids.
Exactly. I'm doing this. All of them things, and they feel like because that happened to me, I can't do this, right? Right. And then you watch these dudes, and like it's like folks call it the system. But I'm saying, like, watching LeVar and them move, it's like, oh, my son can't play here. You know what I'm saying? Well, we're going to go over here.
Right.
Oh, you don't want him to play over here?
And that's the reason why the JBA works for these people, because the owner is just has the same mindset
of, like,
as the
it
player.
Ain't no such thing. In their eyes, it ain't no stopping. It ain't no roadblock. It ain't no wall. It ain't no, you can't do this. It ain't no gatekeepers. It ain't no nothing. Like, it's a challenge there. How do we get around that challenge? To me, that's dope. To me, that's inspiring, because I feel like in life we see the moments where we think it's a system set up. NCAA tell you ain't got the GPA,
right? You
can't play here. You can't go pro.
You don't get a scholarship.
You ain't get a scholarship. You can't go to the NBA. That's too bad. Oh, you took some money. You can't play here. You can't go pro. You can't. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I don't care about the situation.
I don't care about your situation. Oh, your mama needed that. Good job.
So
you know what I'm saying? Oh, you got to take a tattoo. You're done. You know what I'm saying? Like it just.
You broke into a car to steal a stereo system because you need food money or shoe money.
Yeah, you're done. You know what I'm saying?
They don't take into account anything else.
Exactly.
But they want to make those billions off of you now.
Oh, 100%.
That's the reason why they say you can't go, because they don't want you to get
like the Reggie Bush. I think the Reggie Bush story. You know, they got mad about the whole house
and took all his stuff.
But they're selling, Reggie Bush shirts.
All that,
photos of him.
Right. But he can't do it himself for his own self.
Do it exactly.
That's
and
crazy.
That's the big thing that I was gonna actually make a video about this on my own sometime.
And it's not just us. I mean, we went to Houston, and we had a Pro Bowl running back at the game, and he mentioned the same thing to all of us. Arian Foster.
Oh, I know.
I followed that guy when I was on the fantasy football team, or I'm like scared when I'm playing against a guy who has him as his running back. He said the same thing. Like, I never liked the NCAA.
Yeah, it's a setup.
It's a setup. Yeah, it's
because you're making money off these young kids.
This is the thing that I always say. This, man, it killed me. People hit my comments and tweet me and all of this stuff all the time, and you got the wrong issue. Folks are worried about, like, oh, don't go to the JBA because your eligibility is at risk. What they don't realize, if I started a league tomorrow and I told you you can only play in my league if I'm the only person
They
who
can
can make money off of you. People will be like, yo, that dude
I'm gonna
Allen
make
is
billions
a
too.
scammer.
I'm gonna make billions
You know what I'm
too.
saying? And they like, yo, I'm gonna sell your jersey
The
to
likeness
the
to you.
whole world.
And the rules here too.
And you
by the
can't
way.
make no money off of you.
Charge to
People
come to
will
the
be
games,
yeah.
everything.
If the JBA did that, if that was LeVar,
This
say,
would
yo,
be the scammers league.
I would.
know.
That's what they would say.
you know what I'm saying?
Like, I don't want this. I'm not
Exactly.
even.
No, nobody
But
would
the
believe in it.
NCAA been doing that for years.
Yeah, that's the only way it operates.
And somebody else mentioned this too. I was watching one of the videos. I think it was the dude Nick Wright. He talked. He coined it as the NCAA is basically like a transfer of wealth. So you take money from basketball teams, football teams, and then you fund sports like water polo and golf and all these other sports that don't make no money.
You know, these schools, you know, they went big in football, and then they put. I think it was a 30 for 30. The football team was winning games, and all of a sudden there's a medical building opening up here. There's a business building opening. I'm like, oh, I wonder where this money showed up. Oh, that was us. We provided that.
Yeah.
You know, so they're using this money to open up for a water polo.
They're using the funding that's coming from the basketball
or new
program
volleyball
to fund,
thing,
yeah,
you know?
to
exactly.
fund trashy sports
And-
that nobody
and-
even watches.
And that nobody watches, but the thing is that the sports and the things that they use the money to fund are folks who like most likely come from demographics where they don't need the money to go to
Privileged.
school. You know what I'm
Right.
saying?
Right.
So like they could pay their own way into school, but like
Getting
they're
an even
paying
easier
it,
ride.
the facilities and stuff that you need to get folks who are actually gonna pay use the money from dudes who
Give
are-
a scholarship to a guy to play water polo for 4 years.
yeah, or not even
That's
give
coming
us,
from a country
yeah.
club background already.
But that's the thing is, so those kind of sports, and that's the catch-29 is they don't even give them full rides. They just pay for the sport. So like, if you playing water polo, you playing water polo, potentially your parents can afford to go to school anyway.
Okay.
So you only going there because you want to play water polo.
Okay.
So just for them to have a water polo team, they gonna make an extra $500,000 off your tuition and everybody else on the team, because we ain't giving no water polo scholarships, but we'll have a water polo team. You know what I'm saying?
And you just,
Then you'll go
I
there,
get it.
and then your parents will give money because you on the
Because
water
you play
polo
for the
team.
water polo
Exactly.
team.
And then so it's
Isn't
the same
that crazy,
thing. Yeah.
man? That's real crazy. Good knowledge, though. I didn't know
Yeah.
that.
Yeah, I've yet to see a water polo superstar from the streets.
That's what I'm saying.
You know what I mean?
It don't happen, but it's you get
You get to
the
see,
dudes who playing lacrosse and all of those sports like
Right.
that, where they come from like families with some bread, get
Gotcha.
them in there. You know what I'm saying, on maybe a partial scholarship,
Right.
and then get their
Skate
family
on
into
through.
your school. You know what I'm saying, and then yep. That's what it is, man. Yeah.
All right,
We got a big
man.
day.
That's what it
We got a
is,
big
yeah.
day at the Infinite Energy Center.
Infinite
Yeah.
Energy Center tomorrow, y'all. JBA popping off again.
Then we had
JBA.
we had
AB the
the-
hero,
JBA.
Manny. Check
We
him
had
out.
the trend tomorrow. What? A couple days on the 5th. And that's the end of the first half.
Y'all only post Melo on Instagram, y'all.
They just
Bro.
hype on him.
The thing is that's not even true.
He wasn't even in their top 5. Y'all must not just been listening.
But they talking about she talking
they
about the
saying the
JBA.
JBA in general. He's
Yeah.
the face of the league, though.
But the funny thing is it's not even true.
But no, they post a lot of different people's stuff on
Yeah,
JBA.
tons of
They
different
post a little bit
people.
of everybody, basically. Now on their promo photos and stuff, they'll have Melo, but I mean,
But let's say like right now,
the last 10
Atlanta is Jordan Ray, Ison Butler, Big Jelly.
posts.
Melo play tomorrow, but in the same post with him. Oh, this ain't loading up.
I mean, look at all these posts. If we could just go down the
That's what I'm
quick
saying.
script.
It don't even make
Yeah,
it. doesn't
Rico,
even-
That's only
appreciate that
one
line.
Melo photo,
Huh?
and then everything else is everybody
Check
else.
your email straight up.
The only focus on Melo.
Why we love exactly.
Big Jelly.
Oh,
you're gonna have to-
boy.
you're gonna have
we
to-
love Big Jelly.
You have to go rewind, my man, and check all the players we were just talking about.
Exactly. Yeah.
And I mean, if you look on the JBA page, man, it's not just
We
all.
We give a
Video
lot of
game,
love to
video
Big Jelly
game.
and Kizo and
not just all Melo.
Yeah,
you know, Hollywood
Frank-
Ray.
Hollywood Ray.
I'm a big
we were just
Jelly
talking about how
fan.
much we need to give more love to Ray, but we did
Thomas
talk about
Singleton,
him.
player
And,
of the game.
Nigel Chaney we talked about.
This the team right here,
Calvin
though.
Brown.
That's the team that's gonna win the chip. Them Atlanta Ballers, baby.
I don't know about that, man. Nah, they up there.
That's
I wouldn't
my
be surprised.
team, man.
I mean, I think New York gonna creep up on.
You think so?
I'm not saying they think they gonna win, but I think that they gonna surprise some folks.
You don't think the LA team's gonna pull it together though, and go ahead and finish?
I'm telling you,
Strong.
honestly, how I feel. I wouldn't be surprised if any one of these teams won it. The way they've been playing,
It's an up
Like,
and down
yeah.
type of thing.
Philadelphia.
it's just
come out of
been
nowhere.
just everybody just looked good at certain points. You know what I'm saying? I wouldn't be surprised if Dallas all of a sudden go on a run and start just waxing folks.
Don't expect a 1-4, 2-3 semifinal. It probably might be a 1-5.
Yeah, it could be
It could
just
be 2 against
anything.
6 or
And it'll be a matchup game. And really, it's tough because, like, that's the thing with the LA game versus New York. LA got so much size over New York, so I kind of expected them to just not be able to handle them.
Right.
And, yeah, it kind of... But our players being encouraged to use various forms of media outlets to create their own fan base and encourage them. Oh yeah, man, the players. That's what I'm saying, man.
That's
the
on the
content is
person,
out
though.
here. Yeah, it's out here.
I was just looking at some of the boys from the JBA. Some
Yeah.
of them post quite a bit. You know, other, like this guy here with Taylor Kirkham.
Yeah, he's
You know
a
what I'm
baller.
saying? He's a baller for LA. He stay posting.
Yeah.
Like he ain't scared to post his stuff.
And that's what I said. They make sure the players got enough content to keep they
Flex
stuff.
tank.
So
I like
Yeah.
him too.
simp for
Yeah, they'll
iCarly,
ask
he be
you,
around here all
they'll
the time.
ask if people
Look at the
can I get
comrade.
some photos.
Look at the comrade.
Mm-hmm.
Brandon Williams.
Oh
Yeah,
yeah,
nice
listen
blazer
to that
there,
interview.
Brandon
That's
there.
that interview so quick.
That's the one you were talking about earlier.
Yeah.
Where he just really was a little heated. He was
Yeah, he
talking
really
about
wasn't
much of
feeling it.
nothing.
You know,
Yeah, rebound.
How often
Yeah.
do the JBA teams practice?
I mean,
Training
they practice
camp
all the
all
time.
day.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They travel, man, so they practice every day, all that stuff, man. But it's professional, man. So they've been in a lot of these teams. The crazy thing is, so like the games in Dallas, a lot of those teams still been in Dallas till today practicing, and
Really?
they flew over today just to
That's
get
tough.
ready for the game.
That's tough.
So they go to whatever city, or they'll be in whatever city for a
Stay
couple of
there.
days and practice and do all that, and then
just
fly.
come over for the game.
Oh
Yeah.
my God, so
Night
I have to
before.
go city to city for 2
Yeah.
days.
Isn't it
Like
fun?
us, who
So this
we
is a
out
good
here.
break, not only for my voice, but for my knees when I have to go to Southwest Airlines every time.
Yeah,
I go
Standing
to the
up.
airport, my knees are killing me.
Just standing.
yeah. But y'all, we finna get up off here, man. I appreciate it, man. Sorry to scream cutting in and out on y'all.
JBA Facebook.
Hopefully
follow
it
us,
ain't
they got
too
big games.
terrible.
Sports Inside Angle, AB the Hero in ATL,
hey, we
live
out
from
here.
the A, Manny,
Yeah.
And Malvarez02 on Twitter.
the JBA, man.
Yeah.
Hey, I did a podcast earlier, SoCal Sidelines. I'm the host of that. We talk a little more JBA there. You have a chance. If you're from Southern California, SoCal Sidelines.
Appreciate
Yeah.
everybody, man.
Yeah. Dipped in, whipped it. Yeah, I mean,
Sauce.
saucing in the bossing. Hey,
In
bro, we
the
finna get out here,
Show the
man.
show, box money. I
Live
think
from
so.
the A,
Right.
man.
Showbox money, man. Let me throw y'all some shout outs for the culture.
So they have been talking.
Sebastian, man. I know this Rodney Removille. Sorry, man. I gotta get my hotspot working, man, because
You
these
shoulda
hotel
told me I
internets.
got my hot spot. We could have been lit.
Oh yeah, these hotel internets be out here. Yep, you guys, the real big three for sure. All right, y'all. Houston Ballers, Grilling Myers, Noah C, Karabi Mahiri, Savion Nugent. He be out here all the time, man. showing
Savion,
love.
what's happening,
Zipmo
Savion?
One,
Be on that sports angle.
Trip Allah,
Allah, what's up?
Uncle Rico, what's good, man? Andrew, what's up, man? What kind of
King
milk
C.
do I want with this cookies, man? I don't know. I feel like Lamar probably a 2% dude. Probably not. Slim College, what's up, man?
AB, what time y'all turning up tomorrow, man?
Man, it really just depends on what the day look like. I might be. I feel like we flying out first thing the next day, but
Right.
I don't know. All right, yo. I'm gonna shut this thing down. I'm gonna shut it down. We out.
Night.
Yeah.
See y'all tomorrow.